Lawrence dies of a heart attack in the arms of his lovely wife, Consuelo Lambert Vasquez. Based on a true story.
Seriously,
See?
that feels like a Hallmark Channel movie.
Yeah.
Johnny Bedford TV.
I'm not sure I want to know what Jacob's bladder is about,
I
but
absolutely want to know what Jacob's Bladder is about.
The tragic story of Jacob Cobb, a schizophrenic man who forms an imaginary romantic relationship with his bladder. During long and joyful monologues on the can, he starts referring to his nether regions by the name of Jenny. Sadly, before Jacob has a chance to elope with his sweetheart, he gets committed to an asylum due to increasingly erratic...
This sounds like an art house indie film.
After a big fight with his paramour, Jacob refuses to pee for a week, and he dies from a ruptured bladder.
I'm
Like,
seeing
wasn't Nicolas Cage in this?
I'm seeing a running theme of all these, that all the men with the main protagonist dying.
It's a dystopian vision of the future where people are valued by the quality of their hair. The protagonist, Eddie Zephyr, turns bald in high school. One day, he has simply had enough of all the teasing and the bullying, and he completely snaps.
Again, all of these feel like I feel like these could have been actual movies in like
Eddie makes his way to Mexico.
the 2000s.
However, he has an adverse reaction to the anesthesia and he dies on the operating table.
why do you always die at the end of your movies?
Typecasting.
Good answer.
Never mind.
Not the culture type. I understand.
No, see, like, I know they're all designed to be really stupid movies, but I do genuinely see artistic potential in them if they are done right.
You want to see a movie where a guy falls in love with his bladder?
Again, I feel like that could be a Nicolas Cage flick.
Performance.
I know it. She always gave me these strange looks. I thought it was contempt, but her face must just be cramping up from shyness.
Yeah, that's definitely it. She'd love to see you act, I'm sure.
I'm gonna have to oblige. Which movie do you think she'd like the best?
The one where you die. Oh, wait.
The usual surprises.
Business as usual. I can't believe you guys did all this for me. You know, what's this smell? Bacon? Oh, Bobby, my head hurts. I'm seizing.
Nurse, he's seizing.
And the Oscar goes to...
Man, I feel like a total jackass. I'll have to make it up to the poor guy later. Rows and columns of files. Probably easier to use the computer if I need to do some digging.
I remember those computers.
Oh, we need to look at the notice board as well.
Employee of the month, Carlita Mendez. What a joke. It's that obnoxious nurse.
I mean, at one point she liked her job.
Time to hack things.
Rows and columns.
Time to hack the firewalls.
Mm-hmm. So, shut off the computer. Pull out your magic floppy disk.
Corrupt.
Extract admin password.
Crap. Looks like I have to figure out the username some other way.
She's writing that down.
But the username luckily works similar to the usernames at the computers at school. So the username is just C Mendez. Yeah. Missing an E in there.
Okay, I can't spell.
OTRO.
Arrow.
Oh no, OTOR. Sorry.
OTORGADOR.
Yep.
We
For some
did
reason,
it.
for some reason, I mistook my T for an F.
I've had that problem. Like,
Not now.
What's his name?
Wade. We're gonna be searching for Charles Wade.
There we go. Damn, he old.
Well, we are talking about a grandfather's generation.
Yep.
It's all right, Claude. Understood, sir. So, you managed to find me.
I did.
Well, let's get this over with then. How do you want your pictures? Shall I get some tubes to fill my face with? Will that suffice for your front page?
I'm no journalist. Well, not yet anyway.
Ah, she's but a cub. So, you're hoping for your big break.
I'm hoping for a ham sandwich.
Worth an internship at one of the big papers. Do you want me to
And
call
a
Thompson
baked potato.
and get it over with?
Potato.
I still play golf with him every once in a while.
This is gonna be funny when certain episodes of the BattleTech LP come out.
That's not what this is about. It's personal.
Sounds serious. Perhaps I should ask Claude to produce his gun.
You know, Charles, the person most likely to be harmed by a gun tends to be its owner.
Very true. That's something that chaps who captured me learned the hard way.
Did my grandfather bail you out then too, or was that one of the few times where he didn't save your sorry ass?
Hold on there. Explain yourself.
You're willing to listen to something other than your own voice? I'm stunned. I'm Kathy Rain. Joseph was my grandfather.
Now I remember. You were at the funeral.
I was.
You were late.
I needed my morning smoke. Besides, it's not like Grandpa was going anywhere.
Oh, just look at her, Claude. She's absolutely fearless. That's Joseph's blood running through her veins. She certainly has a smart mouth, sir. I must
Do you guys share a voice actor asking for a friend?
Probably.
I'm just going for, oh, hello, Agent Super Bowl.
Agent Super Bowl.
To my grandfather in 81.
I wish I did, Kathy. You must know I did everything in my power to help. How do you think Mary Elizabeth could afford all that expensive treatment? MRIs, neurologists, say what you will about Joseph. But he was never rich.
Strange. Grandma never mentioned that to me.
She's just
He wasn't Scrooge McDuck.
Mm-hmm.
At first she refused. She was convinced that I had an agenda, that there were strings attached.
And were there?
Don't be silly. Despite all that had happened, I still loved Joseph dearly. I wanted to help. People from places like this have a deeply rooted mistrust in the rich, passed on for generations. In her eyes, I had become one of them.
So that's all you know about the whole affair?
Are you implying that there's more to know? I left the diagnosis to the professionals. Mrs. Rain accepted the health care, but asked me to stay out of everything else. So I did.
see. What can you tell me about your friendship with Grandpa?
Joseph was the best friend I ever had. We grew up together, married our high school sweethearts together, went to war together. I can't even begin to count the number of times he's saved my life. I repaid the favor once or twice, but he came up ahead, no doubt.
So, when did you two lose touch? I heard that something happened between you and him. What was it?
The truth is, Brian Rain happened. Sharon Evans happened.
My parents?
Yes. They ruined everything with their vile, destructive behavior.
Oh, good.
I couldn't have that around my daughter, or my newborn grandson. Joseph was naive. He believed that anyone could be helped, that anyone could be reasoned with, given a chance. He was just too good, bless him. He should have been harder on Brian, more strict.
Well, the father's out the picture, and mother, dearest, is
Not okay.
Yeah.
It's hardly Grandpa's fault. He did everything he could to set my father straight.
Oh, I never claim to doubt Joseph's commitment, but I'm not going to ignore his flaws either. Your grandfather often used his heart when he should have used his head.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
I believe it is, objectively. But I shouldn't speak ill of the dead. Eventually, my company grew much too large for this little town, and we moved on. Not long after that, your grandfather ended up in that wheelchair. That marked the end of our friendship, for obvious reasons.
You bought a number of paintings by Lily Myers. Why?
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. Martha, my wife at the time, was enamored with the paintings. I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the painting speculatively. When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet dream of certain connoisseurs. Shortly
Dead
after
artists are better, after all.
I had it valued by
I guess so.
that the value was 3 times the amount I bought it for. Today, I'm
the amount of art they produce becomes a lot more
or more
limited.
Like, I've heard one of the reasons...
There was a burglar
Like, you see this with musicians a lot. Well, not a lot,
all
but...
over the local news at the time.
Well, shit.
Eloquent
Jimi Hendrix, he was reasonably big in England, but not as huge in the US, despite the fact that he's one of the greatest guitarists to ever lived.
would be strange
Once he died, however,
things I would
everybody
did.
suddenly knew Jimi
A fellow
Hendrix.
named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward, really. The nickname is somewhat of a bad joke.
Perfect. Thanks. Tell me about Jimmy Cochran. Is he still alive?
In a
I
little
had him
while,
murdered years ago.
he's been held in a mental institution for years.
Let me guess. Since 81?
Either 82 or 83. I'm fairly certain it was early 83.
Do you remember the name of the institution?
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton, or similar.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital?
Yes, that's the one. You know the place.
You know, they missed an opportunity for a puzzle here.
I do. My mother is in there. Sharon Evans? I had her
But we do get character development in its place, so there you go.
Eh,
It must have taken a lot of courage to do that, Kathy. Mothers have a lot of power over us, more than most of us care to admit.
I guess so. Do you know why Jimmy ended up in there?
Some obsessive-compulsive syndrome. He became fixated with circles and started hurting himself, trying to scratch the circles out of his head.
Creepy. I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place out tomorrow. Too late to head back to the city now. Can you tell me about the art theft?
Well, somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and got out. Fairly clumsy job. Lots of broken windows. The strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, and 2 paintings by Picasso, untouched. But every single painting by an unknown local artist, gone.
That
Curious.
can't be a coincidence.
Hmm.
An acquaintance of mine actually had someone break into his house years ago, and they didn't like they stole some things, but the thing that upset him the most was he had a guitar signed by George Harrison, and it got wrecked.
Ooh.
Some stunning police work right there.
That's actually the acquaintance who helped me realize that George is my favorite Beatle. So it was just one of those things where it's like, oh, that hurts.
Take it the case was closed?
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff about the matter, if that's okay with you.
Certainly, I'll call ahead and instruct him to give you
I have power.
Thanks, Charles.
Mm.
anytime. But I'm curious, what's your interest in the paintings?
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them, right before he had his injury.
Is that so? Strange.
What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
They seem like any other church to me. But then again, I'm not their usual clientele. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave early.
Do you know
Let's
what
see
this
here.
is?
A flower. Why don't you consult a botanist instead of bothering me with this nonsense?
Maybe because you got so many here, you could have been a help with that. Sorry.
I don't think there's much more we can do with him. I'm not positive, but well, we can show him the photo, see what he says.
Of course. Your grandfather, me, Jimmy Cochran, taken shortly before we went to the war.
You guys look like you just won the lottery or something.
Indeed, we were mere children, with no concept of what we were getting into.
Yeah.
Thanks, Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
We just need another bum to execute to get in.
Maybe now that he knows we're there, he might be nice enough and be like, okay, you can go up.
No thanks. I have better things to do.
You clearly don't.
Yeah, you're bothering an old man who's clearly in the hospital.
She's looking for answers.
I'm just looking for an answer. I should listen to more Julian Frampton songs.
Hello, Father.
This looks almost exactly like the church in Gabriel Knight 1.
Yeah.
Okay, the design of it is definitely more Catholic, I think.
I would never assume that.
Good. So, with that out of the way, I have some questions.
Anything you need. I'm Isaac Price.
Kathy Rain.
You look like Russell Crowe.
Figured that out already.
I did.
I'm gonna go fight cancer!
How can I be of service?
As long as you don't sing.
Something. Are you not entertained?
Do you know
I
anything
think
about what happened to
a
your
friend of my sister-in-law's actually met/worked with Russell Crowe on something.
Joseph was a kind man. He did not deserve such a fate.
And he
Don't
was
know
a
all the
jerk.
details.
Speech at the funeral, Kathy. I meant every word. He was a great man. He did much good for this community.
Did you know him personally?
In a way, he and my father did charity work together. Joseph was around a lot when I was young. They collaborated on a few different projects for the homeless and for the troubled youth, among other things.
So my grandfather was a member of the church?